Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffrey Combs.
Good afternoon, Jeffrey Combs, back to back here today on, it's going to be 3 for Tuesday. So I'll be here on Facebook Live for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to move over to Instagram Live, and then later tonight I will be on Facebook Live, wrapping up a late night Facebook Live. So if you're here with me today, I am honored to be here with you. Topic for today's Facebook Live is communication on command. At the end of Facebook Memories today, all the way back to 2009, I saw myself in an early video. This would be the prehistoric days of April 28, 2009, with one of my clients then. His name was Tony Ma, and he was driving my Corvette that I owned back in the day, 62 Corvette. So that was early Facebook Memories. Do you remember Facebook 2008 and 9? I do, because that's when I first joined Facebook, and what a great ride it has been. No matter what Facebook is today, it still is a viable asset for those of us who brand, market, create content, value, service, and attract leads. So good to be here with you today on Tuesday, Facebook Live, the last day of April 2026. Topic for today's Facebook Live is communication on command. Being able to articulate your feelings on command, being able to communicate effectively, being able to eliminate the filler words that most of society uses. Most of society uses kinda, guess, I don't know. Those are the most common words that are inserted into sentences. Those are filler words, words of doubt, and words that have no content or context. And if you are listening to people communicate like that, and you've coached with me, and you've improved in your communication skills, congratulations, because it is a major asset to be able to communicate on command. And what happens to many people is that they go into fight or flight, performance anxiety, when asked a question. The emotion becomes overwhelmed, and this affects people when it comes to the skill of sales. SALES, highest paid profession in the world. And a large percent of society, well over 80+%, has challenges selling because of their preconceived notions, because their anxiety about the outcome, which would be abandonment, rejection, making a mistake, saying the wrong thing, performance anxiety based on being overwhelmed. And then just a simple ability to go to a restaurant and order what you want on a menu. Many people get overwhelmed by the menu. They can't decide, they can't communicate, and they have challenges ordering just the simple task on a menu because they might order the wrong thing. They might make a mistake. The chef might do this. They might be out of this product. This is the anxiety of the future that has not happened. When you are here, when you're present, when you're in the moment, you are no longer the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings. That's the trauma, sexual, physical, emotional, generational, and then the trauma-based mind control. I just took a walk in my neighborhood in beautiful Central California, completely blue skies, no chemtrails, God's creation. I was just sitting there basking in the sun for a few moments, taking a walk in a beautiful neighborhood in Central California, and just feeling the feel. And so that's what you also want to be able to do, is when you communicate, you're able to feel people. You feel a situation for what it is. You're not overthinking, processing, analyzing, getting ready to get ready, sabotaging yourself. When asked a question, most of society will go into a sound in their analytical left brain, and they're rationalizing, thinking of what to say, who to be, and what to do. And as you become more skilled at improving your identity, so in the subconscious, unconscious component of yourself, if you're continuing to operate in the unconscious, subconscious, procrastinating and avoiding, to change your identity, it doesn't come from setting goals and writing affirmations or saying affirmations. Although they are a component, your reticular activating system will continue to identify with what is familiar. So if you're a chronic avoider and a chronic procrastinator, but you're now writing your goals and you're stating your purpose and you're speaking into existence reality that you seek to create, that is a component and a step in the direction of higher consciousness. However, if you don't let go of the trauma you hold on to, the story you hold on to, and if you're not changing your identity, your identity will continue to operate in the familiar. And as you understand this deeper and deeper, and you master your emotions. You're letting go of control. You're letting go of the outcome. You're not worrying about the future that hasn't happened. You're present. You're taking long, deep breaths. You're breathing, releasing, and letting go in a relaxed body. Well, then you're going to be able to articulate your feelings more effectively. You'll be able to communicate on command without thinking. The ability to communicate on command is a byproduct of your own flow. It's trusting yourself, trusting the process, being able to articulate your feelings without overthinking, analyzing, getting ready to get ready, saying the wrong thing, and all the other situations that lead to keeping you in fight or flight. Now, if you follow along on the email that went out on Monday, this goes out every Monday from my assistant, Emily, who is amazing at Substack and other internet products. And you'll see that Emily is the chief operating writer and chief operating officer of Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. And she is who's writing the articles on Substack. And she's taking the content from some of my original content and then she's reconstituting it. So if you're not on Substack, you can follow me there. I have a whole different level of content there for you to follow. And I'm getting a lot of compliments. And that is Emily Wilkerson is doing that writing. So communicating on command is your ability to do this right here. Articulate your feelings. That means your ability to articulate means you're able to let go of all the drama, trauma, and chaos you've experienced, and you're able to speak fluently. You're able to speak clearly, not directly. Directness comes from anger. Clarity comes from higher consciousness. And when you're able to speak into existence, reality you are manifesting, then you are present, you're in the moment. When you're able to say what you feel without being worried about the outcome, and as you realize that you're not responsible for other people's feelings, then you are being present. You are here and you are now. And the more that you're present, the more emotional energy that you're transmuting from love, joy, bliss, enlightenment, know, understand, aware, trust, truth, and you're not in falsehood, anxiety, fear, or doubt. You're in the now. And when you're in that state called now, you're present. And your present moment awareness allows you to have a presence called posture. And in your posture, you're in your humility and you're not worried about making mistakes. When you're projecting your mistakes, you either avoid making them or make them to fulfill the same set of circumstances that leads to the payoff called disappointment. As you become more skilled at the let go process, the cycle of letting go, you're becoming a master of your emotions and letting go on command. You can then speak on command. And when you ask someone a question and they then turn around and ask you the same question, they go, what does that mean? I would say it means what it meant. I mean, that's a reflex. And the reflexes of an embedded command at the end of a sentence is a skill set called a U-turn, and you can keep the conversation moving. But this requires being present, moment awareness skills. This is challenging for most of the world because they're thinking, processing, analyzing, avoiding making a mistake rather than focusing on a solution. The end result, focus on qualifying the buyer for their process, qualifying the buyer for the service, benefits, and features. This becomes overlooked because most of the planet's in an overwhelmed state. Overlooked, overwhelmed, they go hand in hand. And as you're mastering your emotions, letting go, giving yourself permission to say what you feel without worrying about the outcome, without worrying you're going to get in trouble, you're going to get scolded, you're going to get lectured, you're going to get sent to your room, you're going to get grounded. All these situations that you may have encountered as a child. Sit right there and do not say a word. And you're sitting in the back seat just absolutely rigid in a car, knowing that one of your parents is going to reach back there and grab you because that's been the predictable behavior. And if you're sitting back there in absolute fight or flight, you are conditioning your body to be a grown-up in the same fight or flight unless you develop the skill set to practice the mechanism of letting go. And as you're mastering your emotions and letting go, now you have permission to articulate your feelings. You're able to communicate on command. You're able to strike up conversations in multiple forums, multiple places without worrying about upsetting someone without coming across as salesy. What does that even mean? Salesys, salesy. What does salesy even mean? It means that your own uncomfortability with selling. That's what it means. Sales is the highest paid profession in the world. Let go of your anxiety about it and become a professional so that you can be compensated as a professional rather than an amateur. So being able to communicate on command is permission-based. You give yourself permission to speak freely and clearly within the context. It doesn't mean you just throw down on people, but it means you have the ability to say what you feel, developing a new set of skills to be able to articulate your feelings so that you can connect with people, collaborate with them, let them go, be in an emotionally non-attached state. And as you become better and better at this, you'll improve who and what you attract. Jeffery Combs, president and founder, Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated, on a beautiful Central California Tuesday. I am honored to be here with you. I'll be back here tonight at 9 o'clock Pacific. You have a great afternoon.